welcome to MPIT as well. And we have faculty and administrators from each of these departments, from science and from math, physics, and IT, that will be here to join in with, in our conversation, to share information with all of you as it pertains to your program and what to expect from your program. So welcome. And what I would like to do first is to say that the Faculty of Science and Technology is a highly regarded faculty at UB. We are considered to be the best faculty. So excuse me for a moment. I think Kyra has her microphone turned on. Could you please turn it off? Kyra, Diego, could you please mute your microphone? Kyra, please. Kyra, Diego, thank you very much. Yeah, we are the best faculty at the University of Belize. Thank you for choosing, and thank you for choosing your respective programs. We are here to serve you. And my name is Dr. Joaquin Urbina. I will be the chair of this session today. And what I'll start to do is I'll start to name my colleagues from chemistry, biology, as well as from the math programs to introduce themselves. Just the name, the position, and maybe one or two things about courses, and also if there are any research interests. Please make it as brief as possible. So I'll just call first on the biology program. Let me see here. We have a few faculty members already here. I'll call on I will call on Ms. Shireen Arnold, Ms. Karen Bautista, Mr. Pedro Carrillo, Dr. Carillas, Dr. Dion Daniels, Mr. Garcia, Dr. Lata Thomas, Dr. Tipi, Mr. Valladares, and Mr. Josue Ake. Could you kindly start introducing yourselves, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shireen Arnold, and I am a biology lecturer, but I also teach several chemistry courses. I am teaching General Chemistry 1, Organic and Biochemistry, Biochemistry for chemistry majors, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, which is for biology majors. And I currently am working in the area of microplastics in biota and sediment in terms of research. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in the classroom. Nice to meet all of you today to introduce myself.
Thank you, Ms. Arnold. Biology, please, faculty.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Mr. Pedro Carrillo.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carrillo.
Yes, Dr. Urbina. This is Mr. Carrillo, Pedro Carrillo. I teach biology, that is general biology. I also teach cytology, reproduction, growth, and development. My interest in research is in the field of forestry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Carrillo. Ms. Karen Bautista, is she around? Biology faculty, please, introduction. Mr. Valladares.
All right. Good afternoon, students. My name is Josué Ake. I teach biology courses at the lower actual and associate degree level, cytology lab, diversity course, and plant physiology. Your research is water quality management in watersheds here in Belize. Welcome.
Dr. Carias.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Dr. Daniels. Okay. Kindly proceed.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Dion Daniels. I impart several courses in the associates and bachelor's level. Courses such as biodiversity, genetics and evolution, and plant biotechnology. My research area is in plant biotechnology. And so I look forward to meeting you guys. I want to welcome you to the University of Belize and to the Faculty of Science and Technology. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Daniels. Dr. Carias, are you around?
Yes, I am. Good day to everybody. Welcome to the Faculty of Science and Technology. Welcome to the chemistry program. Yeah, my name is Abel Carias. I teach in the biology program, general biology courses, but I collaborate extensively with faculty from the chemistry department in research. My research area and interest is in environmental pollution. It spans a broad range of topics, including microplastics, pesticides, heavy metals, and a few other ones. Certainly, I invite you guys to get involved early in your academic career in research. That will put you in a very good position, especially if you aspire to continue your education in the future. Okay, so my office and the laboratories will always be open for you. Please don't hesitate, don't be afraid to ask for assistance, and we are here to help as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carias. Dr. Lata Thomas, please. Okay. Okay, Dr. Lata. If not, then let's see. We should proceed with the chemistry program. The chemistry faculty, could you please introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Karen Lee. Okay, I teach a number of general courses at higher level soil and pesticide chemistry. My interest is mainly looking at alternative sources of fuel. Focus has mainly trying to get biogas from the fermentation of various biomasses. Next semester, probably, but not this one.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Link.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Giuliani Passos, and I am a lecturer in the chemistry department, in the chemistry program. I normally teach the general chemistry for majors courses, as well as some other courses at the bachelor's level, along with general chemistry, general biology. So I'll be teaching all of you at one point or another. Most of you will be taking general chemistry for majors this semester, so I'll be your teacher for that. And I look forward to working with you all this academic year. I welcome you to the University of Belize, and you have chosen well. The Associates Biology and Chemistry program, as well as the Associates Chemistry and Math program, are very useful programs. There are some of the biology chem is one of our most coveted program at the university and well known here at the University of Belize and throughout the country. So welcome to the University of Belize, and I look forward to working with you through your 2 years here at the university.
Okay, thank you, Ms.
Hi,
Dr. Aguilar.
Yes, I'm Dr. Apolonio Aguilar, Chair of the Science Department. You have heard me talk for in the faculty orientation. I'm actually a chemist, an organic chemist, and I teach Organic Chemistry 1, Organic Chemistry 2, and their labs. I teach, and I've started to teach, as Dr. Urbina pointed out, advanced organic chemistry. And I also teach general chemistry courses. I have also taught industrial environmental chemistry and food chemistry as well. But mostly you will see me teaching, people in this group will see me teaching Organic Chemistry 1 and 2. My research interests are in natural product extraction, isolation, purification, and identification. But I also work with materials and other aspects of chemistry that could be applied to Belize.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aguilar. My name is Dr. Joaquin Urbina. I am a chemistry faculty member and assistant professor under this great Faculty of Science and Technology. I have experience in teaching lower and upper level chemistry courses, so at the associate and bachelor levels. I've taught a range of courses in the associate programs such as industrial environmental chemistry. I've taught general chemistry for majors, but I don't think I'll be teaching you this semester this chemistry, general chemistry for majors. So Ms. Pasos will take care of that. But I've also taught bachelor level courses such as green chemistry, such as inorganic chemistry, and also the seminar courses that are done at the upper level that prepare students to do thesis work. That Dr. Carrillas pointed out that it's important that you get exposure early on in your career. And my research interests are in the areas of water quality, so to know what types of species are present in the water, how that is affecting the quality in terms of the metal ions, and also in terms of microplastic research. That's another area that I'm applying myself to in terms of the different techniques used. I'm also interested in materials chemistry when it comes to producing materials that are constructed using intermolecular interactions. So it's very exciting, and I look forward to seeing you all at some point during your course of studies. So thank you very much and welcome. Now at this point, Dr. Tippy, could you kindly introduce yourself briefly? Professor Tippy, can you hear us?
I think he's just logged
I hear
in.
you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I hear.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Well, first, my apologies for a bit late because I was waiting in a session and nobody was there. So it seems that there was some mix-up with the invite. And the chair promised to send me another invite, and I was waiting for that invite. Anyway, so I'm here. My name is Tippy Tyagarajan, and I am a biologist. I teach mostly in the bachelor program, but I probably will be doing some labs for the associate students. So, but I am advisor for quite a bit of associate biology and chemistry major students. So I will be meeting with my advisees sometimes tomorrow and Friday. So I will get to see most of the students during the advising session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tippy. And at this point, I would like to introduce two of our esteemed math colleagues from the math program. We have Mr. Stephen Lewis and Ms. Adelia Young. Kindly introduce yourselves.
All right. I don't know if Adelia wants to go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Adelia Young, and I've been teaching for 30 plus years mathematics. I do the intermediate algebra and trig, and calculus 1. Those are the courses I will teach. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. And again, welcome to the Faculty of Science and Technology, and in particular the Science and MPIT departments, I guess, because you're doing courses from both departments. I'm currently the chair, as some of you saw this morning, the chair of the Math, Physics, and IT department. I have taught a number of courses at the associate and bachelor's levels within the math program, including intermediate algebra, calculus 1 and 2, this intro to discrete mathematics, mathematical modeling, mechanics. At the bachelor's level, I've taught courses that include fundamental concepts of math, calculus 3, linear algebra, ordinary differential equations, partial differential equations, topology, real analysis 1 and 2, and so forth. My focus is really in the area of pure mathematics. So I teach a number of proof-based courses. Recently, I've only been teaching courses at the bachelor's level, so more than likely you guys will not see me at the associate level. You might see my colleague, Miss Adelia, and some of my other colleagues within the math department for sure. As you take your math courses, that's for the chem math majors. Area of research interest includes looking at factors that affect student math performance at different levels. So that's my main focus. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lewis. I think a couple of my colleagues are shy in the biology program. Dr. Lata Thomas, Mr. Jair Valladares, Ms. Karen Bautista.
Hey, Dr. Dr. Urbina.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
I apologize. I had my speaker for some reason was off, so I would
okay
anything. So, anyways, I am Mr.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes, Jair Valladares from the Faculty of Science. I lecture many courses. I would say almost all associate's degree courses, and for the bachelor's, I also lecture higher level courses, ecology, animal physiology, and so forth. And in terms of research, I do ocean acidification research. I work with other kind of research, crustacean research, and there might be other type of research that I'm also working along right now. But I'm welcoming students to work along with us. There's a team of us working in research that actually it looks similar, but in reality, they have different dimensions, depending on how you see it. I'm welcoming all the students today, and I believe they'll get to find out more as time progresses. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Valladares, I think students are yearning to see a face. If you have a webcam, if you have a camera.
Okay, sorry about that.
Just for now.
Can you see me, guys?
If not, then we can proceed.
Can you see me? I don't know if.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, now yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah,
okay.
That's me.
Thank you, Mr. Valladares. Okay. Ms. Karen Bautista or Ms. Dr. Lata Thomas, are you still around? Okay.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is
Ms. Karen Bautista. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me, Doc? Can you hear me, Doc?
Yes, we can hear you, Karen. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Miss Karen Bautista. I teach
Yes, we can hear you.
microbiology, general microbiology, environmental microbiology at the bachelor's level, and I teach a couple of associates courses. Basically, I've taught the reproduction, growth, and development in its former stage, how it was before, but I can teach that course as well. And my area of research is water quality management and antimicrobial techniques.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bautista. Let's see, Dr. Lata Thomas. If not, we'll move on with the lab technicians. I don't know if all of them are here at this point, because these are the people who are, the pillar of, all the lab courses. They are the ones who help prepare the, all the materials that you guys need for each of the labs. Is Mr. Caballero around? And Ms. Zaida and Ms. Gina Zuniga, please.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me, Doc?
Yes, I can. Kindly go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rolando Caballero, and I'm the Senior Lab Technician for the Science Department. I, along with two other of my colleagues, we run the departmental labs, and we are in charge of the daily operations and maintenance and basically running of the labs. If they are here, my colleagues are here, can you please go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mrs. Zeta Franco Leon, and I'm one of the lab technicians assigned to the science department.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ms. Gina Zuniga, and I am the other lab tech of the science department.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you very much.
They are serious people. They are even calling from a car.
Yes. We had to step out to pick up something. Just a few more things I want to mention to the new students. We will
please go ahead.
We will be having some new protocols provided that we are meeting in lab this semester. The new norms with COVID-19. So we should be aware that we will be required to have a face mask at all times while on campus. And we will also be required to have our proper PPEs, including our goggles, lab coats, which each student is required to get if they will work within the lab. You should have those before you come into lab, and you can start working on getting those. So you can have your seamstress make it, and you can get your goggles at the local hardware store as well. At this point, you should all have your face masks, so please have those as well. The other new norms will be following is the social distancing aspect, and we will be limiting the amount of students that will be in the lab. So we'll be having a maximum of 12 students at any one time. Usually it is just one student per station. And we will be trying our best to maintain you guys apart from everybody else and interaction to a minimum, any physical contact. We will be asking you guys to be doing hand washing before entering and before leaving the lab as well. And a few other aspects that we will be introducing once you guys get to lab. It will be important that every student attend the first lab safety session that we usually do at the beginning. So it is important that you guys are all there so that we can discuss all of these aspects with you. So that is pretty much what I wanted to discuss with you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Caballero, for the the information there. You know, I know you are in and out of, or you're probably in and out of meetings, but so thank you very much.
All right, thank you, guys.
I think we've covered everyone. If I'm missing anyone, I think Dr. Lata Thomas was the only one, but she's also a biology faculty member within the science department, and she has experience teaching, you know, at the associate and bachelor levels. So you'll hear more from her if you get to have her as your advisor, or when you teach, or when she teaches one of the courses you have lined up. Okay, so at this point, I would want to introduce to you the program sequences that you will need to follow. The program sequences depend on which program you chose to do. So in the case of the associates in chemistry and biology, there's a course, a program sequence for that, and then there's also one for the chemistry and math. So the way I will approach this is for each of these sequences, or using one of the sequences, I will talk about the chemistry component, and then I will have Dr. Tippy talk about the biology part, and Ms. Adelia Young to talk about the math part, so that you can have their input there. I can only speak for the chemistry. I'm not a math nor biology expert, so I let them talk about this as we go along. Okay, so let me try and get this, just present my screen to show these program sequences. Now you have likely received an email with a package containing important information, including your program sequences. So your program sequences are going to be the guide that will direct you as you progress through your respective programs. So you need to take this program sequence very seriously, very faithfully, and this will be the instrument you will use as you seek advice from your respective advisors. So please make sure you do that at all times. Let me see if I can. Okay, that's not the one. But let me just show you the. Okay, this happens when you have multiple things open at the same time. And here is the chemistry and math part of the program sequence. I will move that to my screen just in a second here. Okay, can everyone see what's on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So what I'll do, I'll just outline the basic structure of this program sequence. The program sequences are structured in the same way, regardless of the program. It's just what the content is what will vary from program to program. So this program sequence is the one for associate in chemistry and mathematics. Okay, so you've seen by now that we've used a 4-letter acronym that denotes what that program is. Okay, so that will be used quite frequently throughout your course of studies. So for chemistry majors, so all of you here are chemistry majors combined with either math or biology. Now, in the case of your chemistry programs, we have normally a 2-year program. That's how long it takes. Normally, we start with the general chemistry foundation. Okay, so for chemistry majors, so there's a course designed for this. So general chemistry for majors 1, and there's a practical, a lab component attached to it. Okay, that you must take as part of your chemistry major program. Now, the number of credits is listed. You will notice that if you're chemistry, biology, or chemistry math, the number of credits will be quite hefty, okay, because you have to satisfy all the chemistry and all the biology or all the math, okay, so whichever combination you have there. What I want to briefly describe is what we mean by PC, GC, and SC, okay? So the PC is a course that is known as the professional core, okay, which is a course that you must take, which is part of your major or your program. So in this case, your program is chemistry and biology or chemistry and math. So these will become your professional core courses. Okay. Now these are offered only in the semesters that are outlined. Colleagues, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's usually the case, unless for some extraordinary reason it is offered out of sequence. But normally it is offered in the same sequence as it is presented here in the program sequence. So here we have also some general core courses which the university mandates you to take. All university students are required to take general core courses, which you can refer to in a list that you can find at the bottom of this on the second page. Okay, so here's a list of general core courses you can choose from, and you can start filling those throughout each semester in your sequence. Okay, so these kinds of details can be discussed with your advisor. Normally, these general core courses they come on a first come first serve. They get filled quite rapidly, and so generally you want to keep a close eye on that as well. But just bear in mind that the priority will be your professional core courses. The support core courses are also of high importance. So in this case, your trigonometry, for instance, in this will be your support core. And there are some math, Spanish and English requirements that you have to meet. I will leave that to my math colleague, Ms. Adelia Young, to explain more when the time comes. Then we have, let's see, prerequisites. What are prerequisites? So these are courses or background that you need before you take the course that is listed. So for example, for general chemistry for majors 1, the prerequisite is high school chemistry, which you had to have done prior to coming here, right? So all of you must have taken high school chemistry if you are to sign into general chemistry for majors 1. Now, co-requisites are courses that you will take simultaneously or during the same semester as your the course that is listed. So for general chemistry for majors 1, for instance, the co-requisite is general chemistry for majors 1 lab, because the lab is complementary to the theory class and is designed to reinforce the concepts that are being taught in the class setting. Okay, so as Mr. Caballero referred to, these are lab practical components that will be done on a face-to-face basis, meaning you will actually go in the lab, of course, observing the physical or social distancing requirements as mandated. Okay, so I want you guys to get a general feel for the type of information that is embedded in this program sequence, and so you can follow this basic structure as you go down this program sequence. For the chemistry part, you will take General Chemistry for Majors 2, and this is a sequel to Chemistry for Majors 1. So you must pass General Chemistry for Majors 1 before you even think about signing for General Chemistry for Majors 2. Okay, so you can follow those prerequisites here, and this is where you start taking the Introduction to Organic and Biochemistry. Dr. Aguilar, or I think it's Ms. Arnold, or even myself, we can teach this course. But here is where, since you're chemistry majors, you are exempted from taking the lab in this instance, and my colleagues can confirm that. Okay.
Yes, let me just go ahead with that. For the students,
yes,
because they are taking Organic Chemistry 1, the lab for that will include the lab from the Introduction to Organic and Biochemistry. So only those who are chemistry majors, associates chemistry majors, are exempt from taking the lab for Introduction to Organic and Biochem, because some of the labs from there will be at the beginning of Organic Chemistry 1 lab.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, so then you see where you have these red asterisks. Okay, so these are where you can fill in with general core courses that come from that list that I just presented towards the bottom of the document. So you can take these at any point throughout the 4 semesters, or even during the summer if required. And so as long as you meet the total number of credit hours for the general core courses, it doesn't matter in which order you take them, then you will be satisfying your program requirements, okay, for graduation. All right, so moving on to semester 3, we take Introduction to Inorganic Chemistry and the lab, okay? Then this is where Dr. Aguilar starts to take upon you the organic chemistry courses, the Organic 1 lab, and then we have some physics as well involved, General Physics 1 in the lab as support core, and then some math courses. I'll have Miss Adelia just pinpoint all of these things in a moment. And then in your last semester, you will take Organic Chemistry 2 in the lab, okay, and also a couple of math courses, and to supplement that, we'll have you guys do some general core courses, and in total, you should meet, let me see, a total of 80 credits for this program, okay? And so the one for chemistry and biology will have its own set of courses and credit requirements. The chemistry courses for the chemistry biology double majors is the same as this one, okay? It's the same as this one. So Miss Adelia, could you please, if there's anything that you can talk about in math, perhaps the grade requirements for the math courses, any entrance exams that need to be taken, could you please expand on that? Thank you.
Good afternoon once again. If you do the math courses, it says that 1151 is your first math course that you will take, the general core, and that's if you get on the at-lib score 35 or more, you go straight into that. But if you get less than 35, then you'll have to do the intermediate algebra first, and that will put you behind. So we start off with my 1151, and then we move on to trigonometry. Then you have calculus 1. In the second semester, you have calculus 1 and mathematical software. Semester 3, you have 2 more. You have calculus 2 and stats. And then the fourth semester, you have stats 2 and math modeling. There are 8 math courses that you will take to go along with It's about 8 out of the total 11 at the associate level. So there are 3 courses that you won't need to do: the discrete, the mechanic, and the complex numbers and vectors. For the math courses, your professional course.
So,
yes, sorry. Yes, sir.
no, go ahead, Miss Adelia. Sorry.
All right. So for the math courses, you need to make sure you get at least a C in them. At least a C. You don't want to get lower than a C. That would not be good for your graduation requirements for your professional courses. Okay.
Okay. So Miss Adelia, so with the math courses, you said they in this particular program they will only take 8 out of the 11, right? So the other 3 are taken by the pure math majors. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. The pure math majors will do the other 2 courses. The complex numbers and vectors.
Okay.
Discrete math and mechanics.
Thank you very much.
Also, Doc, the algebra is counted both for the math major and also for the general core part of it.
Yes.
Yes, I see it is a general core.
For this program,
it's labeled as a general core course, but
this program, but in the math major, it's a professional core. Yeah.
Right. That's right. Yes.
And the trig, is it a support core or a professional core?
Anything else, Miss Adelia?
The trig is a support core or a professional core?
It's a support core for this one, but for math major, it's a professional core. That's a difference, right? But you need to do trig before you can do calculus 1. So you still have to do it, right? Okay.
So these are considered foundational courses, and
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So can we proceed to cover the biology aspect, Dr. Tippy, and then we'll see if students have any questions.
Can I just share one thing quickly, though, guys? Quickly before Dr. Tippy shares.
Sure. Please go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, I'm noticing that I probably shouldn't bring this up here. I'm noticing that the trig is labeled as a support core. I don't think that should be the case, since they're chemistry math majors. And you actually need trig to do calculus 1. You need algebra and trig to do calculus 1. So that's probably something that needs to be revisited in terms of labeling, right?
I will make that change.
Yeah, I think conversation between you and Dr. Aguilar can, can look at those details.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Lewis. Dr. Tippy, could you help us with the biology part, please?
Doc, you want me to present it?
Dr. Tippy?
You want me to present mine, or you want to pull that one?
I already have it on the screen.
No. Okay. All right. Thanks. Yes. Okay. All right. Good afternoon again, students. So if you look at the sequence for the first semester, the biology and chemistry major students, you almost do like a triple major only for the first semester. You're doing the 2 professional courses for the chemistry, 2 professional courses for the biology, and the 2 professional courses for the math. So cytology is the first course you will do on the lab for the cytology. So both of them are the professional course for biology. The second semester, you have 2 theory and 2 lab courses. That is biodiversity and the biodiversity lab, and then reproduction, growth and development, and the reproduction, growth and development and lab. Okay, so basically you have 8 credits of biology from semester 2. Then can you go to semester 3, Doc? I also want to emphasize that cytology is a prerequisite for many of the other courses that are going to come after first semester. So you can't skip cytology or get a lower grade because it's a professional course. You must have a minimum of a C to graduate, and you have to have an average of a 2.5 GPA in the professional core for you to graduate. For semester 3, we have an option there. Okay, you can do plant physiology, and the plant physiology, the genetics and evolution lab. You have the genetics and evolution, which is a separate course. If a student like more animal side, he can or she can skip the plant physiology and substitute or do the animal physiology course, which is listed in the subsequent semester, which is in the 4th semester. So if you look at the 4th semester, you have the animal physiology and the ecology and animal physiology and ecology lab. So between the plant physiology and animal physiology, and between the two labs, you have an option. So if you do one of that in the semester before, then you can skip the animal physiology against the plant physiology and the lab. Okay, so there is one choice we are given there that is put as a asterisk, and the note below that students can choose between BIOL 2151 and the lab, and the BIOL 2352 and the lab for that course. Okay, so somebody might be more inclined towards animal science, so then they can choose that animal science part, and somebody might prefer to do the plant science, so then they can choose the plant science. Okay, the only issue might happen later if you choose to do the bachelor biology program later. We may ask you to do the one that you did not do during associates. Okay, so that is the only thing that might catch you later. But if you go into a bachelor chemistry program, I don't think there is any issue with that kind of thing. So that's it for my side.
Yeah, I think for the bachelor's in chemistry, they have to take Math 1302, Physics 1025, and Physics 1025L. So the Physics 2 on the lab, 1302. What is Math 1302?
Calculus 1.
Mr. Lewis, what is Math 1302? Calculus 1.
Calculus
Okay.
1.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. So those of you planning to go into bachelor's chemistry, okay? Any questions, students, at this point? You may have regarding the program sequences.
There's none in the.
Okay, sounds like no questions. So with that, I'll get into certain conditions that students may find themselves in. I hope they don't. And it has to do with probation. And oh, hold on, there's a question. I think there's in the chat regarding the sequence. If we took the exam and passed, what is our next step? So Abby, what are you specifically referring to here? Which exam? Abby, can you?
Spanish
do you have a
placement
mic?
or math adlib exam?
Yeah.
I think.
Which type of exam?
Yeah.
Abby, do you have a microphone? You can speak
The
for
math
the math
exam.
exam. The placement exam, probably. Is that what you're referring to, Abby? Okay. So, math colleagues, I think this is a question for you.
So if she passed the placement or the AdLib, then she will go into the algebra, straight into the algebra. If she gets lower than the pass mark, then she will have to do the intermediate algebra.
Right.
And the pass
Okay,
mark.
so either.
The
Go
pass
ahead,
mark
sorry.
is 70. Pass mark is 70.
Sorry, I 35 out of 50, 70%. Yes.
Yeah, for the placement, for the math placement, it's 70, and then for AdLib, of course, it's just 35 out of 50, which works out to 70 as well.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Thank you. I think there's a second question here. Is there a book list for the school year? Now this depends on your lecturer. for that particular course, if that lecturer requires, some kind of textbook to be used as being mandatory, then he or she will list that in the course outline. The course outline is the contract agreement between the lecturer and the student. It tells the student, what content will be taught, how it will be taught, how it will be graded and assessed. It will also include information such as, textbook requirements, reading assignments, all those things. But I would say, to answer your question, is it Kyra or Kira? There's a, the book list, or the name of the book or textbook will depend on your particular lecturer for the course. Okay, some don't require it, some do. They all have their own, requirements. Did that help to answer your question? Okay. All right. Any other questions before we proceed? Okay, so I encourage you guys to speak up using the microphone, and to to show yourselves on the camera if you have a camera, so that we can become familiar with you in the same way that we're showing our outer beauty to you guys. Okay. So let us proceed then. If there is nothing else, Dr. Aguilar can help us talk a little bit about the probation and student block. I think there's some things going on with student block. Sorry?
There's another question. What happened
Yes,
to
I just saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens to the students that didn't take any of the placement exams? Chairs? Any of the chairs can perhaps help us to answer this question?
I think they need to contact their for placement exam. They need to schedule that. Those should be offered, their Spanish, Math, and English placement exam, so that then they can be placed in the proper course. They should be getting emails on the placement exams. Tyra Arana is the person that they are to contact, I think.
Yeah, typically the university also sends information on the dates and of these placement exams. So just be keen as to those emails and dates, so that you can sit those exams. Okay. All right. Thanks. Dr. Aguilar, can you proceed, please?
Okay. So can you hear me? Let me see. Yeah, all right. So in terms of academic probation, so if you are, let's say you have taken courses your semester and your GPA ends up being less than a 2.0, you are placed on academic probation. It means that for the next semester, you are required to reduce your course load to a maximum of 9 credits for full-time students and 3 credits for part-time students. During a period of 2 semesters on if you are on probation, academic probation for 2 semesters, you have to repeat your courses and try to bring up your grades and try to bring it up above 2.0. But if you cannot, if you are on probation for 2 semesters, then you are asked to sit out for a semester and then come back and see if you can bring up your grade. Okay? So if during that period, for 2 semesters, you remain on probation, then you're asked to sit out a semester and then come back and then see if you can bring up your grades after that. So again, probation means that if you have a GPA less than 2.0, and you need to register then for, if you're a full-time student, only 9 credits, and if you are a part-time student, only 3 credits for that semester. Having fewer credits allows you to bring up your GPA. Now, in terms of blocks, there is no advising block. So students should be able to, this is more information for lecturers. Students should be able to go and register on Monday Now, the only reason for having blocks and subsequent semesters, well, one of the reasons is financial blocks. So you need to make sure that you are up to date with your payments, and if you have paid all of your fees for the semester, then you are allowed to register for the following semester. You will not be allowed to register for a semester if you have not completed your payments for the previous semester. And that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
Thank you, Dr. Aguilar. Okay, I see a couple more questions popping up. Maybe we want to answer them. There's a question, AJ is asking, will transfer students still have to take the placement exams? Any of the chairs, perhaps Mr. Lewis or Dr. Aguilar?
If you have taken a course, the placement exams are for those entrance level courses, like if you are coming at the first year. If you are transferring from another institution and you have taken the equivalent of English 1 or algebra, and you have passed those, you do not need to take a placement. Those courses show that you have reached at a higher level. So transfer students, if you have passed courses that are the equivalent, then you do not need to take placement exams.
Okay, did that answer your question, AG? Okay, I assume that was it. Okay, no problem, AG. So Lourdes is asking, will the textbooks for the different classes be available online? I can say that again, it depends on your lecturer. Your lecturer will refer to you how he or she will access the textbook, whether it be in in PDF format, or if you have to go to some kind of website. I don't know. I can only speak for myself in terms of the use of textbooks. I do use some which I use and have available. So it depends on your lecturer. Okay, so the one who teaches. And the textbook, the names of the textbook and so on, those are written in your course outline. So this goes into the next question: when will we be getting our different course outlines? So these you get on the first day of the class that you sit in. Okay, so if you start on Monday 17th, those courses that you're taking on Monday, the lecturer will introduce that course outline. You will have a copy of that course outline, and you will get information about what to expect in the course, how it's going to be assessed, how many tests, how many quizzes, etc. Okay, so everything there should be part of the course outline. Things like class policies and to that effect. Okay. So the answer to the question is it will be done on the first day of the class that you take. Okay, so that's when you get your course outlines, and you get it from the individual lecturers. All right.
I see one of the next questions is what are the dates for the labs? Let me explain something about labs, when they are going to be given and scheduling. I don't know if somebody.
Okay, please go ahead.
I don't know if somebody has talked about synchronous and asynchronous classes and all of that, but
I think Mr. Ake is due to talk about online
just
modality.
to mention about labs, because the question has come up. I have scheduled, the labs are scheduled so that you are, for each program, you are to take them on the same day. For example, the majority of people in here are associates biology chemistry. You are to take cytology lab, and you're to take general chemistry for majors. Those are both scheduled on Monday. So you are to come on Monday and so we have scheduled it so that you only come on Monday for labs, and you won't have any classes on that day. It is scheduled so that no classes are on the same day as you have labs. The reason for this is that we understand that students need to be able to access their computers when they are taking classes. So to avoid them having to rush traveling from campus after finishing lab to go to home to get to their classes. It would be very inconvenient. So we have scheduled, for example, you guys, it will be Monday, the 17th of August will be your first lab, and you will be taking both your cytology and your general chemistry 1 for majors on that same day. Now for labs though, the cap for labs will be 20 students. There are going to be 20 students in each section of lab. That means though, for let's say you are in a lab, in a cytology lab that has 20 students, only 10 students will be going into lab on the first Monday. The second 10 students will be going the following Monday. Then the third Monday, the first set of students go again. So you will be going on alternate Mondays, okay? And this applies to both the biology and chemistry course, to all of your labs. You will be going every other week for lab. Another thing that you need to be aware of, we need to coordinate this though, because you will be taking both cytology and general chemistry for majors on Monday. The lecturers are going to have to coordinate this. We don't want you to be coming every week. You will be coming every other week. So if this week you are taking cytology, you should also be taking general chemistry for majors this week, so that next week you do not have to come. And then the following week you come again for your 2 lab sections. So we want to avoid students traveling too much, exposing themselves on buses and public transportation. So we want you to come all on one day. So we're going to have to coordinate that. Your labs, biology and chemistry, for example, are going to be on the same day, alternate weeks. So you will be coming every other week for lab. Dr. Abina?
Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you for answering the question. There's another question. Jeremiah is asking, Chemistry and Biology Associates program has a total of 4 science courses in the first semester. If I'm not mistaken, the lab fee is $150 per course. So will we be required to pay $600 in total? You will need to see, so the lab fee only pertains to the lab course. So you don't count the theory, okay? So the $150 fee is just for the lab course that you're taking for that semester. So if you look at the biology chemistry program sequence, which I presented, let me just get there, because you only have to take general chemistry for majors 1 lab and cytology lab. I think that's only 2 labs. In other words, you only get to pay $300 if it's $150 per course. Okay, so it's not 600. You don't count the theory, which is general chemistry for majors 1, nor the cytology, theory. Okay, so I hope that is clear, Jeremiah. Thank you. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's all the questions in the chat so far. Now, guys, feel free to ask the questions as you go along. But at this point, I want to yield to Dr. Tippy to just say a few things about program change and course transfers, including doing program changes from double major to single major. Dr. Tippy, please.
Sure. Good afternoon again, students. We have some rain going on in Belmopan, so you may not hear me very well. For program change, students can change their mind during the course of the semester. Like many times you think you can handle the biology and chemistry, but after like 5 weeks, you realize your interest is only in chemistry, but not in biology, or vice versa. Then you can do a program change. There is an application that is available in the records office. You fill in that form. You write the reason for your program change. Your advisor will sign the form. Then we follow through with our chair and dean, and then it goes through records again. But this will be effective only from the following semester. So whatever courses you are doing for this semester, either you need to continue finish it off provided that you can get the minimum required grades, or at that time you can make up your mind if you want to withdraw from a course that is not probably your plate of food. So those are things that you need to think about, and always consult with your advisor. That's why, you know, your advisor should be a constant help for you. Anytime you have a little issue, you can always, you know, check with the advisor to see, you know, if you're going on the right track. Students who are doing, say, double major, if they want to, you know, drop a major due to the level of difficulty you are experiencing after, like, you know, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, or 10 weeks, up to the last day of withdrawal period, you can make up your mind. Credits that you have done in a program, as long as the grades are within the acceptable range we have mentioned earlier, will be reflected on your program. Unless you go to a totally different program where this course may not play any role unless it becomes like an elective, then, you know, you may have to think about it. Students who switch from, say, from biochem to a nursing faculty, some of the courses might still be transferred, but we have to go through an internal process of that. But students who have done programs elsewhere, and when you come in here, we have again a transfer matrix we follow. Many times a student may have done 1 year of associate at a junior college like Sacred Arts and want to continue here the second year. We do allow that kind of thing, but then we have to look at the course by course transferability, and then we do that kind of thing. Okay, now I don't think currently enrolled students for this semester, the students are allowed to do a program change at this point in juncture. Okay, so you have to go with your accepted program now. But if you have changed your mind to do another program between the time you applied and accepted and now, you can talk to your advisor and see how we can help you to kind of bridge the gap, in the sense that, you know, maybe we can look at the sequence where you want to go, and the advisor will see if they can help you to add courses accordingly, so that you won't waste a semester because of our procedures. Anything else, Doc, I have to cover?
I think that's it, Dr. Tippy. Thank you. There was a question there. Sharon is asking whether the general courses can be transferred.
Yep. If it is a course done within UB, definitely all the general core courses are same for most of the programs, so you don't have any problem with that. Even students who have done general core courses from other junior colleges, we do transfer most of them, provided that 80% of the content of those two courses match. So yes, we do.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Tippy. Sharon, there you are. I hope that's clear. So yes, the answer is yes. Okay, so Mr. Josueke, are you around, please? Could you kindly share information regarding online modality? Okay, before you start, Mr. Ake, there is a question here. Nailani, for the Monday labs, it depends on the classes you register for the first semester, right? I'm not sure what you're asking there. For the Monday labs, it depends on the classes you register for the first semester, right? I think Dr. Aguilar had indicated that these lab sessions have already been scheduled. These lab courses have already been scheduled on the same day. So for example, if you have a lab for cytology and a lab for Gen Chem for Majors 1 lab, those have been scheduled on the same day, so that you focus only on the labs for that day. Well, it doesn't have to be Mondays. It just depends on what on when that lab was scheduled. So you will have to refer to your schedule to see the days in which those, or the day in which those labs were scheduled in. Dr. Aguilar,
They will get to
an
know
accurate
that
response?
when they do the registration or advising with the advisors, right?
I'm sorry, I was working on something else. Sorry. What was that, Dr. Avina?
So I was just saying that because the question was that for the Monday labs, it depends on the classes you register for the first semester, right? That's the question. So I was saying that the lab schedule is already determined. So when the student meets with the advisor on their advising session, they will have a look at the schedule, and that's when the student will get to know when he or she will be coming in for labs.
So pretty much, yes. Actually, when they register, they will know what time their lab will be. But they know already from their program sequence what labs they will be taking.
Yes.
So it's just when they register, they will find out what time. So those who are, is the student a Chem Bio or a Chem Math student? So if you're a Chem Bio student, you're going to be taking cytology and general chemistry for majors. For sure, there's no question about that. You will be taking those. And you need to, those will both be on Monday. The only question is what time you will be taking them. So you will have to try to get into a section that you want. The earlier you get in, the earlier you register, the better chances you are at getting the time that you want. Yep. And I just saw a question come up: is fundamentals of chemistry 1 the same as general chemistry for majors? If that's from SJC transfer or no, fundamentals of chemistry, I think it's the same.
Is that fundamental chemistry 1 coming from another institution, or is the question referring to if you took fundamentals of chemistry back in the day when our program had it named as such, then yes, the general chemistry for majors 1 is the same, if that's the case.
It is now called general chemistry for majors.
Yes. Yeah. So the names
Dr. Aguilar, on the lab issue, maybe you can clarify that, because we are telling students that the labs are on the same day, in case when they register, they run into any problem not getting into a particular lab session, or if they have conflict, then we will resolve it by talking to our lecturers who conduct the lab. Is that right?
So they need to try to get in, make sure that you get into a section. Just make sure that they don't clash. Your biology and chemistry labs don't clash. You shouldn't be able to register for them at the same time. Now, when it's time to sort them out into groups, that will be done with the lecturers. So the lecturers will sort whether you're in group 1 or group 2, which is coming either the first Monday or the second Monday.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's it for this section. Mr. Ake, could you kindly share a few pointers on online modality, how we're going to do all the teaching, all the assessments this time around. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Avina. Welcome, students, once again. Now, how will the new normal be carried out with carrying out these courses and this academic, starting this academic program? So that's the question. Now, one main thing is that there's your UB. Each student has a different UB email address. All right, starts with their student ID. It goes out with at ub.edu.bz. Right. With that UB email address, the students will be signed up in 2 platforms. All right. the Moodle, which UB has been using it since, remember, the past 5 years, and then another platform is being introduced this year, which is known as Google Classroom. Now, new students will get an invitation in this UB email address to join Google Classroom and hence also Moodle, right? Now, these two platforms are important because that's the medium of which all the courses in your program sequence will be delivered. Okay, and Moodle will have, once you've signed into Moodle, the course outline for each course will be available for each student in the Moodle platform. Now, this course outline is extremely important to students because it is an academic contract between the lecturer and the students. Now, why? Because it has the content of the course based on topics and subtopics that the content will be delivered, and also it has it's divided and subdivided by week, and it also has the type and the number of assessments. Okay, so your UB email address is important. Okay, and in knowing how to use the both Moodle and Google Classroom platforms are important. Now, you're supposed to have received in an email with this package. I think Dr. Vina have mentioned at the beginning of this session, right? And in there, they have apart from the program sequence, there's also I think 5 minutes video clip that Dr. Aguilar did. If I'm not mistaken, I recognize his voice. All right, and there it gives you the steps on the importance of Google Classroom and your new UB email address. Okay, now depending on each lecture, how they decide, each lecture decide to carry out the course. The lecture has two options. Well, I think two options with the theoretical courses. One is that of online, and the next one is blended. All right, online is basically mostly just using the platforms. Blended is certain percentage of the lectures will be online, and the other percentage will be on face-to-face, depending if there's a field activity or a practical. Okay. Now, in terms of for the lab courses, right now, if I'm not mistaken, probably the chair or Dr. Rubina can correct me. It was proposed to be done face-to-face. However, that might change in the next 2 days. All right, but just confirm with your academic advisor when you meet with them if the lab courses will be delivered. Okay. Now, if this lecturer decides to do online, mostly online, deliver the course online, to have been done in 2 ways: synchronous and asynchronous. Now, what's the difference between both of them? Is that synchronous is that the student and the lecturers need to be present on a certain planned lecture date and time, and now to be present in that lecture session, and also the time and date to do the assessment needs to be, the student needs to be present. Now, the opposite is when the lecture session, the student doesn't have to be present on a certain day and time. Similar with doing the assessments, right? The quizzes and the tests. Right? The students doesn't have to be present there. The student can do it whenever they are free. Now, note that, guys, you have to know manage your time and space, because minimal in the first semester, you guys will be doing, I think, minimal of 5 courses total, including lab courses. So you need to manage your time and space at home. All right. No, what's next on the this is the withdrawal. Either you have UB will be sending you on your UB email address dates when the student can withdraw from a course. Now, what is withdraw is that if the student sees that that he or she are not performing well academically in this course, then they can voluntarily withdraw. Means that they can ask the lecturer of the course to sign to withdraw, and either withdraw with a pass or withdraw with a fail. Its acronym is F, capital P, and capital F, capital W, sorry, and capital F. All right, and that's you filling out a form. Okay. It is important for you guys to keep a track on your grades. Now, since this is a new normal academically, the assessments, the quizzes, and the tests will be given in the Moodle platform. So automatically, students will be able to see their final grade for each assessment, and that way, each student can keep a track on their academic performance. All right. I see that there are some questions in the group chat. I don't know if it's referring to what I'm presenting. Let me go through it.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay. There is the grade appeal. That's a process whereby the student can request either at the end of the semester. And that's based on if the student is not satisfied with the final grade that the lecturer or the grade, the final grade that the student got in a course, the student can request that grade appeal, and it is a process whereby it involves the chair and the dean, and it entitles basically the re-evaluation of the assessment based on what the process entails. All right. That I think I'm finished with my section. And if they need more clarification from the chair or Dr. Urbina. I'm finished.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Roque. I want to add one or two things here. For the chemistry major, since all of you are chemistry in some way, you will be using sapling learning. This is a software that is used by all chemistry faculty, and I believe one or two of our biology faculty may end up using sapling learning. Now, there is a fee that is attached to this software, the use of this software, the access. This fee is automatically included in your invoice. Okay, so when you check your invoice upon registration, you will see the fee for sapling attached to each of the courses that require it. Okay, so if you're taking Gen Chem for Majors 1, then you will see a fee, a sapling fee for that course in your invoice, as well as let's say if the lecturer for cytology decides to use it, then that fee will also be attached to the cytology course when you check your invoice. Okay, so you will see 2 sapling fees, 1 for each course. Okay, so and this fee will only cover that particular semester that this software is used. Okay, so just bear in mind of any other fees that are coming. Now, why use sapling? Okay, so this is you know, a teaching and learning software that that the chemistry faculty use. This is part of the online learning experience. It's much like Moodle. You know, it helps in you know, the administration of tests, quizzes, practice problems. You know, and you guys very well know that in the sciences you have to practice. You know, and it's very important that you get that kind of exposure, that kind of practice in the sciences. Okay, so sapling learning is very good for that. You guys are going to gain a lot from it, and the lecturer will tell you also to what extent they will use sapling. Okay, but just bear in mind that there will be a sapling fee attached to each of the courses that will be using it. Okay, but most certainly for each course that requires it, especially in the chemistry, you will see it reflecting in your invoice. Okay, so just bear that in mind, guys. And let's see. I think Mr. Ake covered pretty much. Yes, Dr. Tippy.
I think I forgot to mention about the probation. I was supposed to do that. Can I take 2 minutes?
I think Dr. Aguilar already spoke about that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he already mentioned something about probation. Yeah. Okay, any questions regarding online modality, students? All right, so the lecturer of the course will indicate what form or what type of platform he or she will be using when that lecturer discusses the course outline with you. They will tell you if they're using either Google Classroom or Moodle. I'm afraid you have to be familiar with both, because there will be lecturers who will use one or the other. And you know, they will be posting announcements. They will be posting, you know, things like practice worksheets, like quizzes, tests. No, the students cannot choose if they want online or blended. Like those modalities have already been determined by the lecturers. Just to answer your question there, Lourdes.
Yes, let me further elaborate on this. There's a new template for the course outlines this academic year. On the first page, the students, as soon as the student downloads or opens the course outline on the first page of the course outline, right there, they will the student will find out if the lecturer chooses to do online or to do blended, and then if it's also if it's online, if it's synchronous or asynchronous, right? Just to further elaborate it and for students to actually know faster if they're doing which modality.
Okay, thanks. Just want to reiterate what Ms. Karen Bautista is saying in the chat. Yes, all classes are online. Okay, only the labs will be face-to-face. And again, it's you know, dependent on how the COVID situation is in the country. But the plan is to carry on with face-to-face labs unless there is the need to act on that particular you know, situation, because we don't know exactly how things are going. We will only be acting on the situation at hand, and if it changes, then we will also inform you guys of how the lab situation may change. Okay, so just bear that in mind. I don't think we have, or maybe we have one or two blended courses in the sciences. I think there are one or two lecturers who do intend to do blended.
There are two courses that are blended, but those are not in this program.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thanks very much. All right. So Miss Karen Bautista, could you kindly just quickly share with us just some information on the importance of the ATLIB scores, the exams, the prerequisites and science department annual activities that are normally carried out, please.
Okay, good afternoon, students. I think Adelia mentioned about the athlete score for math. All right, already she mentioned that if you got less than 35 on the athlete for math as a biochem major where you would have had to take algebra, you would need to take intermediate algebra first. Okay, so if your athlete score is less than 35, then you have to take intermediate algebra before you take your algebra. In the case of English, there are two English courses. We have pre-college English 1 and pre-college English 2. Right? You normally take pre-college English 1 if your score is less than 30. Right? And then the following semester, you will be able to, if you pass pre-college English 1, you will be able to take pre-college English 2 and then your college English 1. If your score is from 30 to 35, then you will be able to register for pre-college English 2, and then you can take pre-college English 2. If you pass it the following semester, you'll be able to take college English 1. So that's for the ATLIB scores. For the norm, well, we're not the norm on the norm right now, but UB Science, Faculty of Science and Technology normally has a number of activities that would happen on a regular academic year. So I would just like to highlight some of these activities. Some of these activities may happen online. It all depends on what the chair plans, okay? But in November, we normally have two major activities, which are GIS Day and the Faculty Open Day, all right? Faculty of Science and Technology Open Day. I'm not sure how we would run the Open Day, if we would just go into the labs, do demos, invite people to be guest speaker and do it more like a symposium, but we'll see what the chair plans. We can still have colloquial if, again, that's possible, because we can have people from different areas of chemistry, for example, and biology. Different industries come in and do talks, and then we can invite you guys to listen to the talks. All right. In semester 2, which I hope everything is back to normal by then, in April we normally have the Earth Day, we have Math Symposium, we have a IT Symposium, and later on in May we have Biology Chemistry Symposium. We also have during that semester the University of Belize Open Day. All right. So those are some of the activities. The student government normally has a semester kickoff each one of those semesters. And in the biology program especially, and I do think in the chemistry, we normally have field activities, but again, because of the pandemic, this semester we will not be having field activities. So again, hopefully things go back to normal next semester so you guys can have field activities to basically so you guys get a first-hand experience of what goes on in the field and not just the labs. Okay, that's about it for the activities. Any other thing I missed, Dr. Urbina?
No, actually that's perfect. Thanks, Ms. Bautista.
Dr. Aguilar.
Go ahead, Dr. Tippy.
I think you could probably tell the student that after registration, before the start of the class, each lecturer probably would send a class email of maybe some announcements, which modality they will be meeting and things like that.
Yes, that should be what the lecturers will be doing at the first, before the first meeting. They need to contact the students and let them know exactly what will be happening. So lecturers will be doing that. There's a heavy thunderstorm starting here. Lecturers will be contacting you so that you know how the courses will be running, whether it will be Moodle or Google Classroom. And by email you will be contacted. Make sure that you use your @ub.edu.bz because we will discontinue the use of @ubstudents.edu.bz.
Yes. Okay, I think Christy is asking how about with math? Are you referring to the online face-to-face and those modalities, Christy? If I'm correct in saying that, then I suppose with math, all the classes will be online as well, right? So they could either be synchronous or asynchronous.
Yes, that's correct, Dr. Abina.
Okay. Thanks. So no face-to-face
classes.
classes.
For clarification, algebra is a general core, right? And so that's
intermediate algebra is a general core, so it will be asynchronous.
But how about algebra?
Algebra is a general core as well for some programs, but that's going to be delivered synchronously.
Okay. Is there going to be only one section of the algebra?
No, about 5 sections.
So at different times?
I'll have to discuss with Miss Ridma. She's a lead instructor.
Because that's the
we might have to split into 2 different.
With scheduling.
With scheduling.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But students will know in advance. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Lewis.
You're welcome.
So Ms. Bautista already said something about field activities, field trips. So it is fair to say that we will not have field trips this semester given the pandemic, the gravity of the situation, for obvious reasons. And so we will not do that this semester. Okay, so I'm afraid that will be the case, nor any other field activity in that regard. So Chris is asking, I did not do well in math and all I have in my list is just algebra. Is there a prerequisite for that and trig?
I think Ms. Passos answered the question, right? You'll need to take intermediate algebra before signing up for the algebra.
And that takes care of both algebra and trig, is that right?
Trig doesn't have a prerequisite of intermediate algebra, no.
Okay. There's another question. I'm not able to log in to my student portal. Who am I to contact regarding this?
You have to contact ICT. ICT@ub.edu.bz.
Okay, so the ICT department at ict.ub.edu.bz. Okay, Alicia. So now Abby is asking, I aced my math placement exam. Will I have to move on to trig? I'm a little confused in that.
If you aced your math placement exam, then you can go ahead and do algebra and trig.
And trig directly.
You can go ahead and and register for those courses. There's a lot of thunder and lightning, guys. Hope you're hearing me. Also, Julian, I won't call your last name, but what happens? What happens if you pass the math placement but fail the ad-lib? That's fine. If you pass the math placement, you can go ahead and do your algebra.
Okay, Ziana is asking, will they be having clubs? So perhaps any of the chairs can answer that one.
I guess we might. There's a possibility of having virtual sessions, as Ms. Bautista mentioned earlier.
What was the question?
If we'll be having clubs.
Will they be having clubs?
It's possible. We're not sure. We'll let students know. We can have virtual sessions. That's possible.
I know the chemistry club was organizing virtual meetings. They will be sending out an email to students. I guess you will find out by email.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Aguilar. So the last, okay, here continues the
Dr.
question.
Urbina, the
Yes,
email
sir.
ID for ICT is ict@ub.edu.bz. I think you kind of
Yes.
you
I
misspoke
think
it.
that's what I said. Or probably the signal wasn't great, but thanks, Dr. Tippy. Is there any devotional or Christian groups?
There are a number of Christian groups on campus. I am not sure how they plan on meeting, but I guess through student affairs, you'll hear some more about how these groups will be meeting. Okay. Yeah, there's the InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. There is a group called Christians on Campus, some other groups, but yeah, IVCF is the number one group.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much, Mr. Lewis. So Theodore is asking, I didn't get my ATLIB results and didn't do the placement yet. What should I do?
I think Dr. Aguilar addressed this earlier. You need to get in touch with Mrs. Tyra Arana. She knows the scheduling for these placement exams. There should be another placement exam before the semester begins, or at least at the start of the semester. So you should be, I would encourage you to get in touch with her, tarana@ub.edu.bz.
No, but the
And
question
I
is
think that
that
student
what
is my
if
advisee.
her
We're going to
results
talk
are
about
there?
that tomorrow.
Sorry. Dr. Aguilar, you were saying something, and Dr. Tippy, you could follow.
That student is my advisee, and I will talk to him about that tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And Dr. Tippy?
No, I think he answered. They think that the student already did the ATLIB and only he didn't know the result, then I think the advisor can help him with.
Okay, excellent. Okay, thanks. So, guys, the time is starting to run out. So I just wanted to, remind you of a couple of things. So please make sure that you meet with your advisors. Your advisors may have already sent you a schedule for a time, either Thursday or Friday, that you sit down with your respective advisors. You already know, or you should know, who your advisor is. Okay. Please meet with your advisor, okay, this week, Thursday or Friday, depending on your availability and the advisor's availability. So it's between you and them. But please do this, because it's very important that you get this advising, so you set your foot in the right direction. If you haven't contacted your advisor, please do so. Okay, for any questions that will be that will follow. Rosalinda Gonzalez is asking, good afternoon.
Please check your at ub.edu.bz email. You have already been sent who your advisor is to that email. Everybody has been shared on that.
Dr. Aguilar, I think she is one of my advisees. I think she's the one who was asking me about, or she was saying that she hadn't received any communication. I told her that she needs to check her ub.edu.bz email account, where all of this information is already there. So if you can't access that email account, you should first make sure you set up that account and activate that account, so you can start receiving gain access to all these to all the emails. Did that answer your question, Rosalinda?
All students have been sent their all students have been sent who their advisor is. They have been sent their program sequences as well. They have been sent a PowerPoint that shows how to do online office procedures, like how to fill in forms, who to send them to, the contact information. If any student has not received, they have also received a map of the area in the science department. If they have not received that and they are actually checking their @ub.edu.bz email, because we have actually sent it to both the @ub.edu.bz and @ubstudents.edu.bz. So they need to check their emails.
Yep.
If you have checked your email and it is not there, please contact me at aaguilar@ub.edu.bz. That is if you have checked.
Yes, thank you. So here's one more question, and probably we should sign off after this last question. What we can do is, after this, if you have any additional questions, you can contact either Dr. Aguilar at his email or your respective advisor, depending on whether it's registration questions. Then your advisor may be able to answer the question first. Okay. So what if you have a score of 35 plus in your English at LIB? What class will you take for English? I suppose it's the English 1, right? The college English 1. Yeah. So 0 to 50 is pre-college English. Oh, 35 plus? Okay. So if it's 0 to 50, then so you have to score more than 50 then. Is that right?
No, I think there is something wrong with them. I think it's a percentage versus the raw score. Can you please clarify that, please? Dr. Aguilar can clarify, or Mr.
Percentage
Louis.
versus a raw score. That's in the guide. It should be there.
Yeah. Yeah, so let us check that. Let me check that. Okay, 1 second.
Hello.
Okay, one second. Yes, Miss Adelia.
I already posted it. 0 to 50 is pre-college 1, English 1. 50 to 59, pre-college English 2. 60 and above, college English 1. That's what I had gotten.
That's probably percentage. I think
Yes.
the raw score.
Yes, but if the student has a raw score of 35 or above, then they will be taking college English 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's like 70%. Yeah.
That's like 70%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that's out of 70. Yeah.
Yes, so it's 35 out of 50.
Out of 50. Sorry.
Raw score.
Yeah. Okay. Out of 50. Okay. Okay. I hope that was clear, Andre.
College English 1.
Okay, so guys, we'll have to wrap it up here. So what will happen is that you will have access to this recorded session for your information. So you can always go back to this recorded session, and if you're still not clear about something, you can always refer to this. Okay. So so thank you very much, everyone. Please proceed to meet with your advisors. Okay? Please communicate with your advisors. Very, very important.
Please check your emails for clarification on all of this, because, for example, this video will be available on your calendar. So in the email that was sent out with all of the documents, the program sequence and all of that, it gives you instructions on how to access this recorded video. So you can go back and refer to it. Okay? Make sure to read your emails.
Yes. Also, please tell your friends who probably could not make it to the orientation or even from another program to check about the student email ID, UB student email. Please.
Okay, thank you very much. So with this, guys, we are finished, and we'll see each other soon. Okay? Thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye all.
Bye, Dr. Urbina and Dr. Apollonia Aguilar.